Cockatiels socialize with humans and are small, vocal, and friendly companion birds. This is why they are the most popular pet bird in the world, second only to the budgerigar. But not everyone loves the sound of a cockatiel chirping all day long. If this describes you and you are considering getting a cockatiel, it may be wise to choose a quieter pet instead. In this video, we will discuss what cockatiel chirping is and what it sounds like and compare chirping to the other sounds cockatiels make. Cockatiel won't stop chirping. Chirping is a very normal and natural sound that cockatiels make. It is typically thought to be a happy sound or at least a neutral sound. Other sounds, like screeching, shrieking, calling, and crying, have specific meanings and needs attached to them. So one of the first things you want to do is figure out if the sound your cockatiel is making is chirping. The next section here will help you answer this question. Why do cockatiels chirp? In a wild setting, cockatiels live in small family groups of several birds. During certain times each year, cockatiels often live in larger flocks of hundreds of birds. Wild cockatiels chirp to communicate, connect, send messages to other birds, and respond to messages received. While chirping is generally regarded as a positive, happy, or neutral sound, this doesn't mean that your cockatiel's chirping has no meaning. Sometimes chirping can have very specific meanings. We will review the most common cockatiel sounds and their general meanings here. But remember that until cockatiels can talk to people in our language and fully explain themselves, these are just the most common human ideas about the possible meaning of each sound. The contact called cockatiel chirp. The contact call chirp is one of the most common sounds cockatiels make. To an experienced set of ears, it sounds like a chirp with a question mark at the end. To an inexperienced set of ears, it may sound like a distress call, and in fact, it is a form of a distress call because the contact call is an attempt your bird makes to locate you or a missing mate or family member. If your cockatiel is an only bird, the contact call will likely be for you. If you only hear the sound when you leave the room or move out of direct line of sight, this is the best indication what you are hearing is a contact call chirp. Cockatiels typically reach sexual maturity between the age of 9 and 12 months. A lone cockatiel seeking a mate will make the contact call repeatedly during the spring and summer when it gets warm and the daylight hours are longer. The danger call cockatiel chirp. In a wild setting, cockatiels live in groups where all share the responsibility to watch for potential dangers and predators. Many cockatiel owners have heard their pet cockatiel give a sudden sharp distress call, only to look up and see a hawk wheeling overhead, a squirrel on the telephone wires, or the neighbor's cat approaching. The danger call chirp will typically subside as soon as the visual proof of threat passes. It is meant to warn the flock, in this case, you and any other birds in your home, of danger so you can get to safety. The distress call cockatiel chirp. Like all animals, wild or pet, cockatiels typically try to hide all signs of illness, injury, or weakness. However, if something is actively causing your cockatiel pain, you may hear a loud and sustained series of shrieks meant to communicate severe and urgent distress. You should never ignore distress call chirps because your bird may be trapped or stuck, a victim of predation by another family pet, or worse. At night, you may hear a distress call chirps during a night fright episode, although this is not the most common symptom of night fright. The boredom or loneliness screeching cockatiel chirp. Cockatiels are very social and intensely dislike being left alone, with no one to talk to and nothing to do. This is also a hallmark of a prey species, where being alone takes away the reassurance and protection of the flock. A bored or lonely cockatiel will scream and screech. You can count on it. Sadly, this is often the easiest issue to fix, and the number one reason cockatiels are abused or abandoned. If you want to know more about why do cockatiels chirp, please visit our website.